Welcome once again to another brand new episode of United Voice of Women, presented to you by Kankatala Silks. They believe in dressing and treating a woman like a queen. Well, everybody, once again, welcome. And yes, it's Vani here with you from the studios of MANATV, New Jersey, USA. Today's guest for you right here. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, another Sunday, another UVW. And UVW stands for an ode to the woman, a celebration of women, empowerment of women, and inspiration by and for women. That is UVW, coming to you live from the studios of MANATV, TV5, New Jersey, USA. Wow, I just love UVW for the very simple reason that this beautiful, unique platform that we have here to be able to bring in women from every community, every culture, every country, from every walk of life to come here, be our friend, and to share their experiences with us. So while listening to them, while talking to them, there could be something that would actually help us to do better in our life, because what we want to do is ensure that each one of us keeps smiling and live a more fulfilling life every single day, because we are worth it. So if you are ready, I am absolutely ready to introduce you to my new friend today. And we have with us a really gorgeous, amazing, stunning woman that I actually fell in love with the first time I met with her. It was a few years ago, and her name is Elizabeth Jairaj. We all usually call her Payal. That's her middle name. And with great pleasure and privilege, I introduce you to this woman who is an IT manager in a healthcare firm, healthcare insurance firm, and she's got some beautiful story to share with us today. Presenting to you, ladies and gentlemen, Elizabeth Jairaj, Payal for us. Welcome to you, United Voice of Women.
Very happy to be here, Vani.
Thank you so much. You look lovely.
Thank you.
Right? Did somebody tell you while you were walking into the studios?
I believe you did.
I did? There you go. Well, I think there was nobody else down there, because if they were, they would sure be telling you that how gorgeous you look. Thank you so much for being here once again. Now, tell me something. Have you watched UVW before?
I have. And I think the shows are pretty good. And they do reach out to women. They do talk about women. And I was actually, the last time I saw it, I really liked it a lot.
What was it really that got your attention?
What got my attention was the way women came forward to tell about their experiences, and I believe the information that they share helps other women too, and that's very important.
You believe that?
I definitely believe that, and I think the show is doing a great job bringing that to the forefront.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. Okay, so talking about you, I've just known you a couple of years, okay, but we never really discussed work. Right? And the very reason that I like to bring friends over, people that I know over, because I'm always talking about people around us and among us are the real heroes in their own right.
That's true.
Because they are working, towards making their life better. Everyday trials and tribulations and challenges that they need to work on to be able to get to where they want to. And what better way than to talk to these women that you can relate to.
That's true.
Right?
True.
Sometimes it doesn't happen that way with a stranger. But sometimes it does, because we women like to make friends real fast.
That's true, and they like to share stories.
Absolutely. So tell me about your work. What exactly do you do when you say you're an IT manager with an healthcare insurance firm?
Right. So I've done a slew of things, including a lot of programming. But right now, currently, I work with a client. So I take care of, we provide them with IT services. So my company provides the IT services to this client. So it's across the entire IT organization.
Okay, and what's your role specifically?
I'm a IT liaison. basically. That's my role.
Okay, and a lot of things come under your jurisdiction?
I have a lot of indirect reports, and I oversee a lot of the applications with which we service our clients. A lot of escalations come to me. I'm the first point of contact for my clients. So yeah, I work very closely with them.
Yeah, so you are actually on the technical side, but still you get to engage with a lot of clients, etc.
True, I have the best of both worlds.
That's amazing.
I'm a real people person, so I truly enjoy working with the clients, yes.
That is amazing.
And I work both internally and externally with clients, so it's really great.
Fabulous. And how long is your career?
It spans over 20 years. I've been in this country for a very long time. But
yes,
yeah.
But your real career, when did it start? Because I know that in the beginning you didn't really get to work.
That's true. I would say approximately around 20 years ago.
You started working 20 years ago?
About 20 years ago, yes.
This particular career that you are in?
In the healthcare industry, yes, in health insurance about 20 years ago.
Wow, that is interesting to know.
A long time.
All right.
Time really flies over here.
No. Well, okay, we've got a lot of things to talk about. Okay, so tell me that as a woman, what is most important to you?
My children, they're most important. I would say the second thing is spirituality, my career, and over here I have made a lot of good friends, and they're very important to me as well.
That's beautiful. And you have a very structured way of thinking. The way you were speaking to me right now, I could see you really, mapping it out, before you actually came out with it, which is a very good quality, I would say. Most of the times it happens in the background, and you miss it sometimes when you're actually speaking aloud. But, right now what I observed was very wonderful.
It's my mathematics background.
It's your mathematics background. Tell me more. What is this mathematical background?
I have a major in mathematics.
You're a woman with numbers.
Yes.
And I know nothing about numbers. Okay, so does mathematics help in life?
It does. Mathematics, I think, plays into every facet of your life.
Why would you say that?
Everything. I mean, look at this. The cameras here, the people here, everything is mathematical. If there was no mathematics involved, everything would break down. So I would say it works into every facet of your life.
Really?
Yeah.
Then how does a person like me who doesn't know nothing about mathematics or numbers survive?
I guess it's people like us who make sure
that people like us are able to survive. I like that. I sure like that. Okay. All right. You know what? The very first time I spoke with you, there was something that you said to me that stuck with me. You said to me, you asked me some question, okay, some personal question, and I think I took a second before I answered that, and I said nobody ever asked me this or something, and then you said I like to speak to everybody at a personal level, because when we are personal, then we are actually really wanting to connect with the other person. All my friends, I share, whatever I am very openly, and it's the same with all my friends. They do the same with me, is what you first said to me.
Yes.
Okay.
And I noticed that about women, because when I first started, initially I wasn't that friendly, especially when I came to this country. I kind of would keep to myself. But then I started to open up, and then I realized that everybody has a story to tell, everybody wants to talk, everybody wants to be heard. And I realized I'm a very good listener. So I really enjoy listening to what people have to say, because everyone has got something unique and something different to share. And
so nice.
I want them to open up and say it, because, it's just not women, it's men as well. We all have, we go through different ups and downs of life, and we could be at any stage of our life. So it's important that, you ask them to open up and talk to you freely, and that's how you really connect with people. That's how I feel.
Wow, that's really beautiful, very beautiful. So, Payal, life, if today you just had to say, how has life been to you, what would you say?
Well, at this point today, I would say life has been wonderful, But I can tell you, Vani, it took a lot of work to get here. And I would not give up a single thing that brought me over here, whether it was pain, whether it was joy, whatever I went through. I think everything led up to this point, and I'm very grateful for everything that I have.
What a beautiful way to put it. You couldn't have said it better.
Thank you.
You know, lovely. All right, so let's talk about this beautiful journey of yours that really drew me closer and closer to you. All right, so you grew up in Bangalore?
Actually, my dad was an army officer, so I traveled all over India, but we did settle down in Bangalore when he retired.
Okay.
And I love Bangalore.
You love Bangalore, I know
I do.
that. Okay. So, you got married and you came to the US. When was it?
I had an arranged marriage.
You had an arranged marriage, okay.
And then I came to the US, yes.
And you came to the US.
It was in 1985.
Okay, 1985. You got married in 85. Okay, so tell me now, how was this journey of marriage?
The most beautiful thing, of course, are my two children.
Yes.
That was the most wonderful thing about my marriage.
You have one daughter and one son.
I have a son and a daughter, yes.
Yes, okay. Yeah, tell me.
They're older now, and it was initially coming to a new country was very difficult to adjust here, to understand the norms here, to even be able to speak the language, because we have very heavy Indian accents. So I think one of my first jobs was actually talking to people, and it was like I really had to polish up the way I spoke, otherwise people wouldn't understand me. But also connecting at different levels with different people, because this place is such a melting pot, and there are people from all over the world over here. There are Europeans, there are people from the Mediterranean, people from Asia, everywhere. And it's been an amazing journey, but initially it was very difficult. I was extremely homesick. I just wanted to go back home.
Like everybody, I guess.
Yeah.
And in 80s, mid 80s, I think it was not as though it is a melting pot. I don't think you would have seen so much of your own culture around you.
I used to just wait to see an Indian person, and I was so excited, like as though they were my family, and I would go talk to them. I was like, oh my God.
Yes.
But I think sometimes, like at one point, one lady, she just gave me a dirty look and walked away. Like, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, but you're Indian, I want to talk to you.
I know, that is so sweet, right? I mean, I think these are emotions that people, in 80s and 70s must have experienced. Not now, right? Everybody feels at home the minute they land here
today. The other problem is also the food was not there. We had just one Indian store in Hoboken, and that was it. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So, so Payal, you were married for how many years?
13. The 13. Good lucky number 13.
Lucky number 13 is a good way to put it. Okay, so you were married for 13 years. And how long has it been since you're separated now?
I'm actually divorced. It's been quite a few years. 10 plus years?
10 plus years now. Okay. So do you want to tell us about how did it lead to a divorce or marriage?
It was kind of sad, because I think the main thing between my husband and me was maybe compatibility. We were from different cultures. I grew up in the army. I grew up in a very different type of a culture. He was from a very conservative background, very good person. We are very good friends. But, it was kind of, I think, initially meeting of minds was not there. It was difficult. And that, I would say, that kind of led to a divorce.
Wow. You know what I liked best about your journey was even the first time when I spoke to you, the way you put it, that you and your husband today are best of friends.
We are.
Right?
We are.
You tell me that today you and your husband share you realize that you share so many things in common.
We do.
You were telling me that you spend a lot of time with
he
your
loves
ex-husband.
to cook for me. Actually, he cooks for the kids, but I go and eat.
Yeah.
Because he's an amazing cook.
Yeah, and he's always inviting you over,
he does.
to dinners, and you and the kids and everybody, you actually share dinner together.
We do. Actually, we live in separate houses, but other than that, that we kind of like every birthday, and my kids are very close to my ex-husband, and which is an amazing thing because it's good for the kids. It's healthy.
Yes.
And I think it's important that that's one thing. If women have to take away something from this, if you have children, as much as possible, try to have a good relationship with your ex. I mean, marriages sometimes do fall apart, but there's no reason. I mean, it's quite possible the other person is a really good person, so you really have to make it work for the kids, if nothing else.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, but you know what? This is not something that we hear normally, Payal. I mean, normally a divorce is so bitter.
I think it's more because of the norms of society. People think that it should be bitter.
Yeah, you think that? That people actually think that it should be bitter and get bitter?
Maybe initially when you're going through the first stages of divorce, because there is a reason you're getting a divorce. You're not getting along, obviously.
Yeah.
But I think over time you realize that, your ex is not such a bad person. And, especially when there are children involved, I feel you should make every effort to at least be friends. And I think it's so important for the kids.
You just said that, there is initial bitterness, and then later you do realize that your ex is, not as bad as you thought he was or whatever. But according to your story, I know that you had the smoothest process of separation, the divorce.
I did. I guess
right?
I'm fortunate in that.
I want you to really talk to me about that. Tell me, usually who is thinking with a mind wherein they're thinking that let's not really make noise about this, let's not make this ugly and bitter, all right? Let's not make it uncomfortable for everybody involved in it. Let's try and make it as seamless and smooth as it possibly can be done. I mean, when you talked to me about that took me really by surprise.
Yeah, we went to the lawyers together.
You did. Tell me about it. Tell me about it. Yes. So first, when you decided that you wanted to take, why I'm asking you about all this? Like I always say, Payal, each one of us women, all right, goes through almost the same emotions. And I've realized now on this platform, talking to somebody from Italy, talking to somebody from, Brazil, talking to even people from different countries, what I have understood is every woman almost feels in her heart the exact same way about some things, about relationships, about children, about nurturing. All these things are so similar across the board.
And Vani, don't get me wrong, I'm a big proponent of marriage.
Yes.
I think it's great if it works between two people, and you should make every effort to make it work.
Absolutely.
I think that's so important.
Yes.
But there comes a point where maybe it doesn't work out, and people are different, and there are a lot of divorces, but and there are reasons. Sometimes like you said, it is the war of the roses, and people just don't get along, and they want to split up, and they don't want to talk to each other. There are like extenuating circumstances where they might be abusive and things like that. But if it is just two people who are not compatible, who don't get along, sometimes it's better to break away. And I think the children are better off that way. It is difficult for the woman because, it is still, women are not able to break through that glass ceiling. They're not able to get ahead in life. It's a struggle, and I understand all of that.
You've been through it.
I've been through all of that. But at the end of the day, I think if you, and this country offers you so much opportunity, Vani. I think this is an amazing country, and I don't know how it would have been back home for me, but over here I feel people have helped me, everybody, no matter what community they come from or what race or whatever it is, people have been so wonderful. And I have been really blessed and fortunate in that way. I've had the help of friends, and fortunately my ex and I get along really well too. So it's been a blessing.
So what you're talking about is that the process of divorce, it was so much more easier on you.
It was.
Because
I had a lot of support.
In this country, it actually helped you so much better because you think that people are not judging you too much. Is that what you think?
Yeah, and I can't really talk for back home because I've been so many years away from there.
So true.
So I can only talk for this country.
Yeah.
People don't judge you, people help you over here, especially when you're going through such a difficult situation. I know that when I was going through the divorce, my boss was wonderful. I had to go home and be with the children, and he was like, go and be with the kids, you know, and I feel that that really helped me so much, you know, and I worked even harder, and I wanted to do even better at my job because people were so, like, you know, helpful to me. It was, I mean, it's not that I've not had my ups and downs. I have children have also gone through their share of ups and downs. Divorce is never easy.
Never easy.
But, you know, it's like, you know, you have to make the best of it and come out the
Hey, Payal, I mean, you're so right about this, right? I mean, a woman should be able to help the other woman uplift herself, right? And you put it so beautifully too. I mean, I just can't tell you how it is an aha moment for me, you know, truly, because the way you are saying that instead of putting the other woman down, if you can just be with her, and if you can't do anything else, just be with her, even that is good enough, right? I mean, in that way you are helping her you know, be who she wants to be, and not really putting her down, because she's already going through a lot.
Women go through so much, Vani.
Yeah, at so many levels.
You know, not just this, even weight. We always have weight issues.
Everything.
It's like everything. They're like, okay, you know, no matter how slim you are, you're like, okay, I could lose a few more pounds. It's like we never give ourselves any kind of, like, you know, kudos. Like, yeah, I look great now. Let's go. We don't do that.
Girl. Do you do that?
I'm trying. I
do that.
I know.
I do that. I always tell myself I'm really good, because I believe that's where it all starts. Everything starts with you.
I'm very confident in all of that.
You are.
But I always feel that there is a lot of improvement that is still needed.
Yes.
So I'm always striving to improve myself more and more. And, you know, it's always a learning process.
Which is fantastic.
Like,
which is fantastic. And I want to go more deeply on that, because you have taken strides, you know, in the way you brought yourself to a level that you're very, very, very successful. You know, I'm so proud of you. Okay, you give me a lot of motivation. Okay, so while we're still talking about this women, okay, my whole idea why I'm coming back to these topics is simply that we're all highly educated women. All right, we are doing very well in the society in terms of our professional lives.
Absolutely.
We are doing extremely well, no doubt about it. And like you said, a lot of people very financially independent, very financially secure as well. Okay, with all these things, we wear what we want to. We're absolutely fine. You know, swimming in a you know, going out swimming in a swimsuit. We're good wearing short dresses. We are ready to take you know, our friends out for drinks at night. Okay, so we are doing what, bar hopping, right, in New York. Okay, we're doing everything. Okay, we are doing everything. So why this little thing that, you know, your marriage is not really working out for you, all right, you're not able to take it? Reasons could be anything. Okay, I mean, just like a job. Okay, a job,
and
isn't it important?
Has a different reason.
Yeah, and job, isn't it important? I mean, the very financial existence depends on your job. Okay,
Right.
but there are times that we have to say no. Why?
Because sometimes it's also a control issue. And I think that plays a big role in this. People like to control the other person. In my case, I think it was a lot of control issue. I couldn't work. I was not financially, you know, I couldn't do anything financially. I was in a stuck position, you know. But when you start getting financially okay, when you know that, you know, you can start taking care of yourself if necessary, you know, you get more confident, and, you know, you are able to make decisions more that suit you.
But Payal, you didn't get a chance, right?
I didn't.
Yeah, and most of the people don't. You know, the way you're saying that, okay, they're controlling you, and then you actually try and make things happen for you, it doesn't, right? For you, there was no other choice.
Right. So when
Except to break it.
correct. Yeah.
Be out of it, because you wanted to be who you are.
I really wanted to be who I am. I just felt very stifled. I felt like that was not me. I couldn't even, I came to a point where I couldn't even smile or laugh, or, you know, I have such a full-bodied laugh. I love to laugh, you know.
Yes.
But I couldn't even do that. So, I mean, it's just how it worked out in our marriage. And it was like, I feel everyone has a right to be happy. Everyone has a right to be free if they want to be free. The other person should help the other. I mean, like in a marriage, that's what it's about. Help the other person also grow. You know, don't stifle the other person. I think that's where some people make a mistake, and in my case, that was it. I was being stifled.
And most importantly about your experience, what I really want you to highlight on is the fact that you were financially totally insecure because you didn't have any financial support to support yourself. Right? I mean, besides your husband. So if you wanted to get out of the marriage, you had no financial backing, all right? And you have been out of a job for 13 years.
Yeah, I can tell you, my first money that I put in my bank was $100. That's how I started. That was the first. I still haven't changed my bank because of that, because it brings back memories, and I'm like, okay, that's where I started.
With $100.
With $100.
Right? So in a situation like that, with teenage children, all right, especially when they are almost in their teens, that means it becomes even more difficult, because when the kids are younger, maybe they have not got much to say. But as teenagers, your kids would have had a lot to say.
Yeah.
Right? They must have their own opinions, because now they are almost grown-ups.
They are.
Especially here.
Yes.
They're really considered adults here, right? Once they get into their teens, they actually go live independently, the kids here. So growing up here, these are children that are born here. So for you, I see that at every step, it was the biggest challenge.
It was, especially a single parent, with 2 growing children, going through school. And it's a challenge at every level, not just financial, it's even a challenge at an emotional level. Every time you do something, you have to think, am I doing this right for my children? You can't spend money freely. You have to be like so careful with everything. You can't go out and say, hey, I want to buy a dress, I want to buy some creams for myself.
What I'm saying is, Payal, that in your case, there was really literally a wall in front of you, because I don't think you were seeing a tunnel. Because you had to create the tunnel, is what I would think in a situation that you were.
You put it so right. Yeah, I had to create that tunnel.
Right,
and
you actually had a wall.
Yeah.
Right, and you had to dig it up and build that tunnel. All right, to get out of it. All right.
With a lot of pain, with a lot of hard work, and I sometimes say blood, sweat, and tears. It's literally that.
Wow.
But when you come out of it...
What gave you the strength to do that? Tell me about that.
The children and being spiritual. I am a true believer in God. I'm very, I'll innocently and go and pray. I always pray to God for every little thing. I'll say, okay, can I have this? I mean, I think it's a very, an innocent prayer.
That's
for
sweet.
The smallest of things.
That is sweet.
But I would say the children were my biggest strength.
What gave you that energy, or the want, the desire to go through all this pain, Payal? Because a lot of people would get scared, baffled, okay, with the wall and the kids and so many things. Who wants to try and break through? Yeah, to take that step. To take that step and to continue to, hit. And you didn't stop. It was not just about, separation and divorce from your husband. You wanted to reinvent yourself as a human being, as an individual. Career, your personal life, your personal self, your children.
One of the things is self-confidence.
Confidence.
It's confidence. You have to be so confident that you can do it, and you cannot look back. You have to just look forward.
But don't you think there needs to be a motivation too, is what I'm trying to ask you?
The motivation is to always do better. The motivation is you want your children to do better. You want to do better. You want everything. Also, there is I think America is such a materialistic country that you want good things for yourself.
Every country is, isn't it?
Yeah. And if you want something, you work for it and you get it. And I think that is also a motivation for you.
So let me put it this way. That means you never ever thought that life is coming to an end with the divorce.
Oh, no.
See, that is what is
Don't ever think like that.
Factor.
Don't ever think like that. It is actually, you're just stepping into a different phase, and it's a new beginning, and think of it as something like you're stepping into a whole new phase of your life, and it can be wonderful.
This is an aha moment, girl. Now
Yes.
we get it. See, while talking, we understand so many things.
Yes.
Because I wanted to know, what could make you want to go
Because today,
take
Vani,
this whole trouble of,
this is where I wanted to reach. I wanted to reach a
Wow.
point where I am happy, I'm at peace, and I have done what I wanted to do. I mean, there's still a long way to go, but I just feel that yes, this I'm on the right
you've
road.
arrived where you wanted to be.
I want to be here. Yes.
Okay, and how did you reinvent yourself in terms of profession?
One is I studied a lot.
Yes.
I went back to the drawing. You have to be. That is one thing about. I mean, if you compare my sister and me, she doesn't want to go back to college or go and do
Neither
any.
would I want to know.
But I have a passion for studying, and I would study a lot. I got a lot of certifications. I even got my MBA after I got my divorce.
Wow.
I just went back to school and I started studying, and I just started to reinvent myself. As far as fashion and things like that, I had some very stylish friends. I would just look at them, and my daughter is very stylish, and they would tell me, this doesn't look good on you. It looks kind of frumpy. And I would just kind of like reinvent myself that way too. So I wanted to be a person who not only felt confident but also looked confident. I knew what I wanted, and I just went after it.
Wow.
That was basically it.
Wow. So you see, you didn't think that the world ends
No.
just because, a marriage went bad.
No.
Okay,
no.
number one was that. Number two, you had so much confidence in yourself that you knew you could do anything you wanted to.
Yes, the world is an open oyster. You do whatever you want.
Wow. And number three is you believe that at every step there is opportunity.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
Oh yes.
there is opportunity.
And just have the faith. It will happen. Just if you want it badly enough, and I really want to tell this, if you want it badly enough, it will happen. It will definitely happen. I mean, people say that,
Yeah.
but I'm telling you, it's like the universe comes together to make it happen for you.
Ooh,
It really
yes, yes, that's what I like to talk about. The universe comes together
does.
to make it happen for
Yeah.
you. But then the most important thing that you are bringing to us here today again is the need. The
Yes,
want,
the
the
want.
desire.
It's the desire.
Okay, that you want
make
to
it happen.
live. You want to be happy, right? I mean, that is.
And the thing is, life can be so much fun. It can be so wonderful. And you have to look at it through those glasses. Through those glasses that, yes, I want it.
You want
You have
it.
to be a child. You
Yes.
have to be a child, and you have to want it, and you have to go after it.
And just go get it.
Go get it.
At any age, at any point
yeah.
of your life. Just imagine with two teenage kids, being a single mom, okay, financially, first of all, you had to make yourself secure, and you had to work very hard, I'm sure. And while doing your jobs, you were doing your certifications, studying, doing MBA, and continuously wanting to grow in your job, wanted to look good, wanted to feel good, wanted to do good. And today your children are so proud of you.
They are. My children are very proud of me.
Right, you and you're a woman that is a diva, wanting to dress up, wanting to go away on vacations alone, go on vacations with your kids. You're traveling the world. You
I
drive
do.
some real hot cars, right? I think that's the second
do.
car I already see you driving in the last 2 years that I've known you. Right? Were you always with a BMW, or you were with a Mercedes?
No, I'm a BMW person.
You're a BMW girl, right? Okay, so I've seen you with two cars, I think. I don't know.
I have two BMW.
You have two BMWs. Look at that. Woman, I mean, starting off with $100 in your bank, and that was what, 13 years ago? No.
It was, I think, in 2001.
2001, so 17 years ago.
17 years ago.
About 17 years ago. Wow. And in 17 years, you've really turned around yourself, your life, and your children. Do you think, what do you think they would have learned from this experience of yours, by the way?
I know my son and my daughter are very proud of me, and that makes me feel very good. When my daughter looks up to me, she tells her friends I'm my mother's daughter, and I think that's great.
That is so amazing. What do you think really they're proud of you for?
I think they've seen me struggle. They've seen me come a long way, and both in terms of, you know, how I brought them up and how I developed myself, both emotionally, financially, and you know, the way we are like three friends, my kids and I. We went on a long cross-country tour together.
Yes.
And we do all kinds of stuff together. We're very close.
That's
You know?
amazing.
And I think that is an achievement. A lot of people may not be able to say they're like that with their kids, but I am.
Yeah, and I think, you know what, as a woman who's so motivated, as a woman that is so full of life, a woman that doesn't think that, you know, clouds, you know, are something to be afraid of, clouds or storms or, you know, cyclones are not to be something that you are...
No, they pass.
They pass.
Yeah, always have a positive outlook. And I know there are days, and I can say that for myself, there were days when I was like, oh my God, you know, is this, but always have like a positive, it's going to be better. Tomorrow's a new day, it's going to get better tomorrow.
Yes.
You know, that's so important. Always
Yes.
have a positive, you know, don't go down in the dumps, because that's not a good place to be.
So what was the most important thing that you see as the best thing that happened to you because of this decision to want to, you know, get out of the marriage?
One of the best things is
The bestest thing that you think came out of this?
I'm very happy. I'm really,
can be
really
bigger?
happy.
What can be bigger?
In every way. Like, you know, I can think freely, I can, you know, I don't know, I have some great friends, and, you know, in every way I feel blessed.
You feel blessed now,
I really feel blessed. I feel it was the right decision for me.
right? You're not regretting
Oh,
it.
no, not at all. Not at all.
No.
And I think it shows on me that
Totally,
I don't.
totally. I didn't know you before, but now I know you're a woman that like glows, right? You know, wherever you walk through, it's all positive vibes and so much of energy, and you know, that's what you bring
It's a
to the
happiness,
table, and you actually encourage, you know, the idea of being highly motivated. Like you were telling me, Vani, you should be doing some certifications. These will help you. I mean, when you start talking to me, I was like, oh no, I'm not really interested in studying. But then, you know what, you're so motivating.
You are such an amazing woman yourself, Vani.
Thank you, darling. But you know what, people like you know, really...
I think people like us.
Okay, let's say people like
People
us.
like us.
All right, let's say people like us. People like us, right? Every single day, you know, can actually make a difference in everybody's lives.
And we should, Vani. I think that is something that should be a takeaway from this.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
What would you say is your, what would you say you would want people to take away from you? I can think of a million things. You tell me. List me some.
I don't want people
from
to
your
be
experience.
afraid. Don't be afraid, and don't give up. Because one thing you have to remember is this is the world we live in. Make the best of it, because you really, really want to be happy here. We don't know what's, I don't believe in afterbirth, but I feel while we are here, we make the best of this life. And
be happy.
Just be happy.
Yeah. All right. And even if you know, if you're struggling through some things in your marriage, I believe, even if you're struggling in a marriage, okay, but if it makes you happy to continue to go with it, nothing wrong in it.
No.
Right?
No.
If you having a lot of struggles, you're having a lot of challenges, you do not want to be you don't think that you want to be able to get out, or you want to get out, all right, then still make peace with yourself about it.
Yes.
Right?
Make peace.
Just make peace with yourself that, okay, I am not ready to go out of this marriage. I
And
cannot
one thing,
do this.
Vani,
Just be happy.
Yeah, one thing you have to remember, it is in your hands.
Only in your
give away,
hands.
people give away that ownership, but don't do that. Everything
Why don't
is
you
in your
explain
hands.
that a little better so that we get to understand it better?
It's very simple. Like, if you want to do something, like, nobody can control you. If you want to do something, it is in your hands to do it. And you can make your life whatever you want it to be. And, you know, trust me, if you want to make your life something else, you want to become a diva, you want to model. I've seen people running at 95. I mean, the world is an open place. Just go and do. And I tell my kids this too.
You
do whatever you want, whatever makes you happy. And I know that that'll make them progress, that'll make them do better. And I just feel that, go for it. There is, at any age, it doesn't matter.
At any age.
Yeah.
Yes, and about anything.
Anything.
You can
Keep
just
an open
dream.
mind.
Wow, that's amazing.
And be
But
a
everything
dreamer.
begins with you wanting to be happy.
Yes.
I think that is the
Two things in my life. Very important is
basic.
happiness, peace of mind.
Yes. Okay. Tell me something. Another very good tip that you could actually give, people out there is that the process of wanting to make this decision of wanting to get out of a marriage. Okay. The divorce procedures are always ugly, they say. So
Oh.
when you said that you were able to do it so smoothly, what was it that you had to do?
I didn't want to take any money from my husband. I wanted to prove to myself I can do it myself. I think that kind of helped him too.
So you were not really taking any money from him?
No.
You didn't even
No.
want alimony?
No.
You didn't want alimony?
I didn't. I waved it off.
You waved it off?
I waved it off, yeah.
And
I
you
did.
were actually penniless yourself?
I didn't have a lot of money, yes. I was in not a great place financially, but I had the confidence that I can do it.
Wow. You actually weighed that off. Okay.
I did wave that off.
All right. So when you're not fighting money, you think that that's a good way to want to, but
Not for everyone. Not for everyone.
no, not for everyone. We're just talking about you. Right? I mean, it's just an experience.
Right.
So did you think that if you brought up money, things would get more uglier, so why not just leave it?
I think it was more to prove to myself that I didn't need to depend on anyone. I was walking into a freedom that I really wanted, and I felt that I could do it on my own. And I am so against handouts or anything. I mean, why would I take from someone else?
Wow.
I mean, what is rightfully mine is fine, but other than that, I don't need anything else. I will work for it and do it myself. That was always my
Way
motto.
of looking at
way
things.
of looking at things.
That's fantastic. So that helped
Yeah.
to a large extent. All right. And anything else that you can share that people can think in terms of how they can avoid getting into an ugly scene, because maybe it's not really needed. You've actually had kids with them,
I
with
think
this other
communication is key to
person. But
that.
at that time, is somebody talking to you? Were you able to talk to your ex at that time? I don't think so.
It's true.
Right?
That
Who ta- I mean,
communication
if you're-
breaks down.
If you're talking, then there's no problem, right?
That is true.
Yeah,
But
so-
but the thing is, you can talk about certain things, like how do you want to do this? How do you want to go forward? Is it do you want a no fault? Or, if you can go after everything. I mean, but it's marriage, and the way it works, it's very simple process, and I don't know about other states, but in New Jersey, it's all mathematical. Coming back to mathematics again,
Okay.
it's a simple division right through the middle. That's it.
How do you? Okay.
If you have assets, it gets divided in the middle. Children, you get joint custody. Most of the cases, the parents are both. If there's no issues like drugs and stuff like that, mostly all parents get joint custody of the kids.
Uh-huh.
And so it's. That part of it is legally, it's
Easy.
it's easy.
Is it very expensive? This whole process?
A little bit, but it depends. The more assets you have, the more complicated a case is financially. It can get a little more expensive, but I would say not much.
How did your family react to you?
It's strange though. Actually, my mother came and stayed with me. Remember I told you I used to be homesick, so my mother came and stayed with me for a year, and she was the one who told me. She said, you need to get a divorce. You guys are not talking to each other. And she was the one who arranged the whole thing, the marriage. Mine was an arranged marriage.
Yes.
And she came to a point, she says, your marriage is not working out. You need to get a divorce. And I was
Wow.
like, Mom, are you crazy? I actually told my mom that. I said, I have 2 children. I'm not going to get a divorce.
So it was actually preempted by your mom.
My mom. And then my
That's-
sister came and stayed with me for
She's
a while.
a traditional housewife.
Yes, my mother's a traditional housewife.
Housewife,
Yeah.
right? With what?
So,
4 children? 5.
Five
of
children.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very traditional.
From Bangalore.
Bangalore.
And she thought that this was not something that
She
you should
stayed
go through.
with me and she said, Papu, sorry, that's why. She said, this is not working out, and she was the
Wow.
one who said, get a divorce. And she sent my sister over. And when my sister visited me, she took me to a divorce lawyer, and I explained what was going on, and he said, yeah, maybe, you know.
So you had your whole family with you,
Yeah.
which is wonderful.
Yeah, I did.
Right, at a time when you possibly...
Especially the women in my family.
Exactly.
And I'm very close to my mother, so, you know, her supporting me. It took a lot though, because I didn't want to go through with a divorce. So, you know, there were things that I didn't want to do.
So
especially when you have children, you don't want a divorce. No.
You're so afraid of it.
You're afraid of it. You're afraid of that step.
Afraid
for the
them.
children, yes.
Afraid for the children.
Yeah.
Correct,
you,
correct.
You wonder what's going to go on. Correct. How they're going to react to it.
Yeah. So, wow. So this actually started only because your mom wanted you to do this.
Yeah.
That's interesting to know. See, when we start digging, all right, I mean, where we reach, all right, yeah, the real beginning is the most important thing. And
that's really
I guess, you know, for different people in different ways it happens. And you're lucky, you're very lucky that you actually had your parents supporting you, your family supporting you. And in this country, you didn't even have any issue with your friends, etc., about your decision?
No. I mostly had work friends because, you know, we didn't have too many friends like that. The couple of friends that we did have, of course, they were Indians. They were all against it.
Exactly, that's what I'm talking about. So they must have been against it,
They were all
right?
against it, of course, yeah.
They would not have appreciated this idea.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Okay. All right, so you have to face a lot of things. It's not just one.
I did have to face a lot.
Yes, yes. Okay, so what is your goal in life now? What do you want to do? Do you think you've come to, I know that you've come to a place that you're comfortable, but do you have any goals?
I enjoy delving in real estate. So that's something that I kind of keep looking at investing.
Okay.
So
you love traveling?
I love traveling.
Yeah.
And then work-wise, I think I'm in a good place. And
you have more aspirations?
The children, I want to get my kids settled and things like that.
What about you? Do you want to have another life for yourself again? Be in a relationship again? Ever?
I actually would if the right person comes along, yes.
You would want to.
Yes.
You would want to give yourself that opportunity.
I definitely would.
Because it isn't as if you don't believe in marriage anymore.
Oh, no, not at all. And
no.
Yeah. I definitely.
Wow, that's a good thing, isn't it? Because people talk about once bitten, twice shy, etc.
Yeah, I shelved it for a bit because my kids were growing up and my focus was on them. But I think at this point, I am open to that.
That is beautiful. That is really, really beautiful. So there is life, so much more to live for.
Absolutely.
Right, when you think about things that
you should be open to things like that.
Open to life.
Yeah, because a lot of my friends did go on and they, you know, either they were widowers or they settled down again and they're extremely happy. And when I look at that, I always feel that that's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. You know, so if it does happen for me, I would be open to it.
You would be. That is so nice, right? Being open to things is always better than being close to it.
Oh, absolutely. There is no
This also, you know what, it shows that you have completely healed from everything, all the pain that you have gone through. Because only then you're able to really look forward to something, you know, again in life. Don't you think?
I have.
Don't you think?
Absolutely.
Because as long as the pain is not really erased itself, you know, you can't.
And you will know.
You will know when it feels.
You will know when you have reached that point where when the pain goes away.
But then you have to give it a chance.
Yeah, you have to.
Because it doesn't happen on its own, I think.
And it takes a lot of time.
Yes.
It takes a lot of time. It is very painful. And I'm like everybody else. I went through that. The tears would come out of my eyes and I'm just like everyone else. And I did go through all of that.
Yeah, and what do your children have got to say about this?
Oh, they're so happy. They love the fact. They encourage me. Especially if I want to settle down again, they're like, Mom, you know, we want you to find somebody nice and settle down. And
your daughter and your son are actually totally into it.
Absolutely, yeah.
Wow, that is amazing.
They always encourage me.
So you sure have a wonderful relationship with them. That helps.
I do. I do. We're
You have a
like
more
friends
open
now.
relationship with them, right?
When they were kids, they were kids. I treated them like kids. But now that they're grown up, so
Yes.
I have a more like a more friendly, like friends relationship.
Yes, and you're able to be open with them.
Oh yeah.
You want to be able to tell them that this is what you want, this is what you look forward to in life, right? You also have your own aspirations. You're growing up with them.
I have literally grown
Right?
up with
You're-
them.
Yeah, you are actually growing up with them, trying
and a
to
lot
settle.
of times I ask them for advice. I'll say, what do you think? I always kind of bounce things off of them because I know that, of all the people, they would have the best intent, for me.
Amazing.
So, I do.
Amazing. The best takeaway for me here is that, getting out of a marriage doesn't ever have to be ugly.
No.
Doesn't ever have to be ugly. And you have to understand that the other person, both the people in the marriage are individually good people, I'm sure.
A lot
okay?
of times they are.
Yeah, most of the times I would say, because everybody
And
has
you have
some
to
good in
recognize
them.
that. You have to recognize that.
Exactly.
Because I could never ever dislike my husband. I never could. Because I nurtured him when we were married, and he was like part of my family. He's my family, and so that never goes away. So you always have to have that kind of a nurture, that feeling, but you have to grow up too. The respect should always be there, and
Yes.
you have to grow up, and it takes a little bit of time for the pain to go away.
Yeah.
Because
of course, like any other relationship.
but it eventually does.
Yeah, but the most beautiful part is to be able to respect that other human being
Yes.
because you made babies with them.
Yes.
These kids that you're
Absolutely.
talking about, that you so love, these
Yeah.
kids that you're talking about hurting. You're so afraid to hurt these kids.
Yeah.
You
What you have to recognize is that, it's not necessary that a marriage has to last forever. Sometimes it doesn't. And that's what you
You
have
can
to
drag
recognize.
it, but then nobody's happy.
Nobody's happy. But
That's again another topic for discussion because it has so many other aspects to it about
Exactly.
what is okay, what is not okay to get out and stuff. That is a total different discussion.
and it's very individual.
yeah,
It's
very
individual.
personal. It's very very personal, right, to everybody. But once to each their own. But once you realize that this is not for me. Okay, then if you are just afraid of what will happen to you or the kids or the world, I think people like you could really throw some light on it and be helpful and say that you don't have to start digging a tunnel because I'm telling you, I've done it all and I know that this is the way you just cruise through it, okay?
Yeah.
It is going to be difficult, but then of course, if you want something, you
want
have
something,
to work
you have to
hard
work for it.
right? You want to be happy,
But the
you have
end
to
of
work.
the tunnel there is light at the end of the tunnel.
And it's beautiful,
Yeah.
okay? And life is beautiful, like we
It
see
is.
you.
It
All
is.
right, almost as beautiful as you. It has been such a pleasure. I mean, I just can't thank you enough for being here with us today, sweetheart.
Thank you, Vani. I
So
enjoyed
much
this.
to learn, so much about life, okay? And it's all about life.
I
It's
really
all about that
hope.
smile.
I really hope that this helps people.
Absolutely did, and you explained in a very beautiful way that nothing needs to be ugly. Everything is so
Yeah.
beautiful. You and your ex-husband are friends. You have family time together with your kids.
We help each other. He needs a ride. I'll take him.
You're there for each other.
When he had a medical issue, I was there for him, and it doesn't have to be bad.
And I'm sure he'll always be there for you too.
And he is.
What can
He's
be more
always there.
beautiful? What can be more beautiful than this, right? So. Thank you. Ever so grateful for
Thank
this
you.
opportunity
Thank you
to
for
have
having
this
me.
lovely chat here, everybody. This has been one of the most amazing episodes once again. Hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, and I promise you I'm coming back for more with another beautiful guest next week, same time, right here. Till then, want you to take care, stay beautiful, and remember, I love you. Hey, thank you so much for being on our show. It was a real pleasure. Okay, Payal, because you're so wonderful and because Kankatalas, our sponsors, are so very wonderful, they have decided to give you a little gift. So here goes.
Oh, Kankatala, thank you. Very nice.
Okay,
Thank you, Vani.
Okay, do you want to see what we've got for you?
Yes, can you show
Yeah, absolutely. You're really going to love this. All right, Kankatalas are all about dressing and treating their women like the queen, like I said.
That is beautiful.
Look what you've got. They've got a ready-made blouse with the sari. Oh my goodness, that looks beautiful. And here goes your sari. Why don't I try and put it on you?
Oh, thank you, Vani.
Thank you, Kankatala. This is really, really wonderful. You like it?
Oh, I love it. It's beautiful. Thank you very much.
It is. This Coimbatore silk in pink and purple is woven from pure silk yarns. The pink body of the sari features the royal peacock and gopuram motifs infused with ease in zari. The pallu features the wave patterns inspired from the sea, edged with the propitious beetle leaves. An interesting touch is added by the yali, a mythical creature, a cross between an elephant and a horse, a symbolism of power and grit, a common carving on the walls of the South Indian temples. The look is perfected by the brocade blouse.